Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take complex insights and distill them for you. Today, we're really digging into a foundational story from ancient texts.
That's right. We're looking at humanity's original representative, the first Adam, and his, pivotal role in this cosmic struggle.
And how that whole situation basically sets up the need for the second Adam figure, the one who brings redemption.
Exactly. Our goal for you, listening in, is to get beyond just the what happened and explore the why. We want to touch on free will, responsibility.
And ultimately, how restoration fits into this picture.
We'll be drawing connections from Genesis, Luke, Job, 1 Corinthians, Revelation. Quite a few key places.
Letting the narrative.
It really is. It shows how these early choices ripple outwards, shaping, the whole story of creation and God's response.
Okay, so let's start right there. At the beginning, Genesis paints this picture, Adam and Eden.
And he's given the specific mandate, right, to tend and keep the garden, basically stewardship.
Caretaker of earth, yeah.
Yeah.
But with a very clear rule.
A crucial boundary. Eat from any tree, fine. But not that one. Not the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Or you'll surely die. Pretty stark warning.
Absolutely. And what's fascinating, or maybe alarming, is how quickly that gets challenged.
Right. The serpent enters the scene.
And doesn't just, plant a seed of doubt. He flat out contradicts God's warning to Eve.
Says you won't die. You'll actually become like God.
Knowing good and evil, it's a direct appeal to ambition, to pride. And, Adam goes along with it. He eats.
And that choice.
Yeah.
It wasn't just personal, was it? The texts talk about huge consequences. He loses that stewardship.
That's the interpretation, yes. He forfeits that original authority and responsibility. And there's more. He becomes described as a slave to sin.
Okay, hold on. Slave to sin. What does that practically mean then, according to these sources? How does that impact humanity?
It suggests that our original free will gets compromised. Adam, representing humanity, becomes kind of captive to this new force, sin.
So our choices aren't purely free anymore. They're influenced heavily, maybe, by this inclination towards sin.
That seems to be the idea. And it allows Satan to gain a foothold, a kind of temporary authority or influence over the world Adam was supposed to govern.
Which brings up a big question, right? If God is sovereign, totally in control, how does he allow such a critical failure? It feels like a paradox.
It does. And the texts tackle this directly. They emphasize that God actually controls all temptation.
How so?
Well, look at 1 Corinthians 10.13. It explicitly says you won't be tempted beyond what you can handle, and God will provide a way out.
Oh, okay. So there's always an escape route, so to speak.
Yes. And even in Job, we see God setting clear limits on what Satan can do. Satan isn't acting independently here.
So how God allowed the serpent's deception. Maybe it was permission. Maybe he just didn't prevent it while warning Adam. The exact mechanism isn't the main point.
Precisely. The consistent thread is that whatever happened, it happened within the bounds of God's ultimate control. Satan couldn't operate outside of that.
So God didn't stop the temptation itself.
No, but he had equipped Adam. He'd given the warning. The capacity to resist was there.
Which puts the responsibility squarely back on Adam's choice.
Yeah.
It wasn't an impossible test.
Exactly right. It underscores his own failure to uphold that mandate he was given.
And Satan's goal in pushing that temptation, it seems pretty clear.
Oh, absolutely. To prove God's commands were impossible, to undermine God's authority, and ultimately to claim earth by corrupting its appointed steward.
Like we see in Luke, where he tempts Jesus by offering him the kingdoms of the world, claiming they're his to give.
That's a key moment, showing his perceived authority. But connecting this back, the first Adam's failure, devastating as it was, wasn't the final word. It actually set the stage.
Set the stage for the second Adam.
Yes, for someone to come and fulfill a much bigger purpose. And it wasn't just about God taking back ownership. He never lost ultimate ownership as creator.
Right, the universe is his anyway.
Yeah, exactly. The second Adam comes to inherit creation as a creature, through sharing our humanity, through sacrifice. It's a different kind of claim.
A claim earned from within creation itself, almost.
You could say that. It allows him to perfect creation by dealing with sin from the inside out.
So the second Adam's work is about reversing the fall, paying the price of sin.
That's central. Freeing humanity from that slavery to sin we talked about, restoring the dominion that was lost.
And this restoration isn't just spiritual, is it?
No, the texts point to something much more comprehensive. The second Adam ultimately breaks Satan's power, judges evil, ends the curse.
The curse on humanity and the land itself.
Yes, leading to transformed spiritual bodies for humanity and eventually a new heaven and new earth, a complete renewal.
So the whole narrative arc really exposes Satan's lies, doesn't it?
Completely. The idea that creatures can be gods, that God's ways are too hard, that sin has no real consequences, it all gets dismantled.
It really highlights that even through failure and immense struggle, there's this overarching, controlled plan leading towards restoration.
It underscores God's justice, but also his love and commitment to his creation, despite the rebellion.
What an incredible tapestry woven through these ancient texts, from Eden to, well, a new creation. It's quite the journey.
It truly is.
So think about all of this. If it's true that every temptation is in some way bearable and that God provides a way through, what does that suggest for you, for how you navigate the challenges and choices you face right now? Something to reflect on.